right, welcome everyone to an exciting episode of Two Bar Connection with your hosts Jesse and
James. What's happening, everybody? How's it going?
yes, what is going on indeed. So today we have a lot to go over as it has been a very packed news bi-week
Cycle.
because this
Yeah.
is a bi-weekly podcast, of course, right? So first we're gonna go over some discussions about AI and about how a studio actually tried to make an experimental game using strictly AI and how that went. We're also gonna be discussing the fate of a CEO from Starbreeze who got fired after Payday 3's terrible launch. We also have
Indeed.
some news about Activision Blizzard QA department forming the largest union within the industry. Then we have more news about Warner Brothers and about how they're going on their delisting spree and their cutting cost spree, and it's now affecting the games industry. We also have details on the Saber Interactive and Embracer Group splits, which happened a few weeks ago. So we're going to have some further details on that. Then we have the PS5 Pro, which has been long rumored and has been probably the most open secret within the industry yet, right? Sony hasn't confirmed it, but we all know about it. And there's been some speculation about whether or not it's actually meaningful. And we also have discussions about Star Wars and the Classic Collection, which has been a not so desirable launch, right? And then, of course, we have more sad news about Overwatch 2, though unsurprising. And then finally we have the new Marvel game has been revealed, Marvel Rivals, which is seems to try and step up to the Overwatch plate. But before we get into all that, how are you, man?
I'm exhausted as fuck.
Yeah, I know you have been
I
working
get.
nonstop.
Yeah, I've been working nonstop because, as you know, we've got plans this coming weekend, and I'm trying to go on vacation without having to use any PTO. But I end up sacrificing my sanity for it, which is fine. But it's over now. But I'm still like exhausted. Actually, I had to make myself some coffee
Hmm.
with my New York mug. That was a gift. Fuck New York.
It's a nice New York. It's a
But
nice mug.
yeah, it's a really nice mug. I like it a lot. I like the matte finish on it.
Hmm. That's really nice.
Mm.
Yeah, well, 'cause I saw like you show me your schedule like every every time it updates, and I saw like for these past like 2 or 3 weeks, I was like, holy shit, it's like 5 straight days
Yeah,
of like 12-hour shifts, and then like 2 days off, and you have like 3 or 4 straight days after that. So
dude, you should have seen the you should have seen the new schedule. I messed up so bad because I wasn't paying attention, and I actually like scheduled myself to work 8 days in a row.
oh my god.
Yeah, dude, I looked at that and actually I took a little mini shit because I was like, dude, I'm gonna die
Y-
if I do
Yeah,
this.
did you talk to like I don't know like HR, I guess, be like, hey
I
guys, I'm gonna
I
fucking
got
die if
it.
I do this.
No, I got it fixed. I found someone to like switch with me because she was actually pretty upset that I couldn't that she couldn't have like the beginning of the week. So I was like, hey, you will be doing me a solid if we can just engage in this symbiotic exchange right now because I don't want to. I want to have at least 2 days off, and she did it. So my schedule's fixed now. It's fine, but I have to really pay attention to what I'm doing because
Hmm.
oh my god, that would have been so fucking awful. That
How
would
did
have
you
been
screw it
bad.
up? What do you mean by you screwed it
I
up?
don't know. I think that was the weekend that I think family was supposed to visit. So I had left it open and I worked the beginning of the week, but then they changed it and then I put it back and then but the thing is like it was in that time frame where I couldn't see the old schedule with it because the when I get back from from our vacation that we're taking, I'm gonna work the weekend,
Uh-huh.
and then that's the last week of the schedule. And then the new schedule came out,
Hmm.
so you have to like swipe to the next schedule, and it
Hmm.
showed that I was working the beginning of the week, and then I was like, wait. So I go back and I go forward. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my god! So so you couldn't see because it was on the other schedule. So kind of blows, but it's okay. But it's fixed now. It's fixed. It's fixed.
Oh,
So I
okay.
can't wait.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you
Can't
got that
wait.
sorted out because that's awful. I that's what
No, bro.
like that's like 84 hours, I think.
Yes, bro, and not overtime because it's 4 days 1 week,
Yeah, because it
four
bleeds
days in
over.
the yes, and
And when does your work week start? Like Mondays?
it depends. I usually try to work weekends because you get paid more.
No, but
Than
I mean for scheduling purposes. When does
oh,
it start?
Sunday is like the first day of the week.
Ah, Sunday.
So
Okay.
yeah, so funny. So if I am working Saturday evening and then it goes into Sunday morning, I think that counts towards Sunday.
Okay.
I think that's how it works. I can't remember, but I've heard from some people tell me that um no, your hours are for Saturday, so it'll count for the week previous, but it's weird. It's only a problem. It's only a problem if you work night shift. Day shifters don't have this problem, obviously.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah. So you gotta figure that out. Like when does it start from like when does it only count from like when your start time is, or like is it only counted depending on where your end time is?
yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
But
But how are you doing, sir? How's it going for you?
oh, my back. Okay. Well, actually, I've been going back to the gym, so actually, my aches and pains have actually gotten better. It's amazing what some exercise can do for you when you
Absolutely, dude.
when you actually
You have
move your
no
fucking
idea.
body and you're not sitting there playing fucking video games for 2 months
Yeah.
straight like I did, or I didn't go to the gym at all and I was playing Persona 3 and then I fucking chased it down with Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
Yes.
Right? I'm like, okay, I'm done with these 200-hour games. I'm just gonna. Well, I'm not done with. I actually never finished Persona, right? Like, I don't know if I
Yeah.
mentioned that last episode, but I actually never got around to finishing it because Final Fantasy 7 came out. And Final Fantasy 7 was a bigger priority for me, of course.
The beast.
So yeah, so I absolutely ass blasted through that game. Right, I finished it at 108 hours, I think it was.
Dude, yeah, I think you told me 108 hours, and I was like, dude, but it's only been like, so short a time. That
It
just
was
shows
2 weeks.
how
I
much.
finished it on the 13th, I think, or the 14th, and it came out the 29th of February. So
You're
and there was
insane,
like a day like I think I missed. So like yeah like about 2 weeks.
I see. That's
So
fucking crazy, dude.
it's no
But honestly, I get it though, because I I get it because I got the remake
uh-huh.
on on Steam.
Hmm.
Game's good. Game's good.
I know, right? I actually want to hear. Okay, before I go about the rebirth, right? Because I know I sucked the game off in the beginning, right, in the previous episode, but I never told you like my final impressions because at that time I was still not done. But now I'm done
Yeah.
with it. I got the ending, right, and I'm doing the post game content now. But before I talk about that because I got a lot to say. What do you think so far? Because I know you're not done. You're like halfway through.
Well, I just made it to Wall Market. Um,
What chapter
and
are you on?
like I said, I made it to Wall Market.
The first time?
Yeah, the first time because
Okay.
I just beat the competition. Oh, that's right. I told you. I told you off screen. I beat Hell House.
Oh yes, that's right. You told me.
Yes. So that's where I'm at now. And dude, the game's fucking beautiful. The game is great. The combat is amazing. And I like what they're doing with the story. And I'm kind of curious to see like what is going on because like there's differences in and from what I remember when I played the original.
Hmm.
And yeah, no, it's great. And also, you'll probably hate me for this, but Aerith is Bay.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
yes,
All right, we're on the same page. I was so
yes,
scared. I was so scared because I was
yes.
like,
Oh my
I don't
God,
know,
you've seen
man.
the light.
Yes, dude. I was like, no, I don't know why, but you gave me the impression or the vibe of like Tifa.
Yeah, no, but
But
Tifa's the fan favorite. Everyone loves Tifa, right? And
yeah, I
I
know,
like Tifa, but I love Aerith, right?
dude, Aerith. I don't know. I don't remember her being like this with this personality in the original game.
Yeah. Well, she
But
was.
dude,
She was like
she's
that, but she was in the game for like few hours, right? In this game, like you spend 30 plus hours with her.
yes, and also she's fully voice acted now. So to have that personality voice acted, like, dude, I just love her.
She's so great.
Everything, everything about her, dude. The
She's
fucking dynamic between her and Cloud is fucking gold. And yes, I'm sorry, I don't know, but
And she gets better like throughout like towards the end of the game. Like she has like more and more scenes, and like they get better and better every time.
cool,
It's
very
so
nice.
awesome,
I'm
right?
excited.
And then of course like in Rebirth, right? Like they expanded like on everyone's combat. So like in combat, you know how she has like the arcane ward, like that's like her
Yes.
thing. Well, she has multiple ones she can pick from, and they all have
Mm,
different effects in Rebirth. I mean, I don't want to go too much
cool.
into it, right? Because I still want
Yeah,
to.
no, yeah, please don't, because I don't want you to spoil it
Yeah,
for
yeah,
when I play it in 5 years on the computer. So,
yeah. Maybe.
but
I mean, the third game will probably be out by then. To be
dude, honestly, at that point, I really hope that they just stop with the whole console exclusivity thing. I did. I mean, I don't know if I know it's not one of our stories, or maybe. But they did talk about how that's like been the real Achilles heel so far is the whole console exclusivity, and they're trying to really go get away from that. I don't know who said it, um, but yes, please, like, stop with that shit. You have a bunch of paying customers on the computer that are willing to pay big money for Final Fantasy VII. So stop, stop.
Yeah, we'll have to see, man. Because I'm surprised Seven Remake hasn't made it to Xbox yet. Like, I'm very surprised that has not
Yeah,
happened yet. I really thought that it would be PlayStation, of course, because Sony's paying big money for it, right? And Final Fantasy VII started off as a Sony exclusive, so it
yeah,
makes sense that Sony would want them again, to farm nostalgia and stuff. And because like, oh hey, like play it on the OG brand that it was associated with.
yeah. Of course.
But what about like the expansions that do you think, like, from what you remember on Midgar, like how do you like how they've expanded on things like how Jesse and Biggs and Wedge are like actual characters now instead of just being like these goofy sidekicks?
Well, yeah. So they're no longer goofy sidekicks. They're no longer just random people that you just that are like kind of one and done characters. They're actually fleshed out. They have motivations. You know why they're fighting Shinra and stuff. Especially in Jesse's case. I think mostly in Jesse's case, and of course, and Biggs. I don't know. Like, I can't remember too much about Wedge. I think Wedge, they're keeping him mostly as the comic relief character, but
He gets more story later on. You'll see.
it's more story. Okay,
Yeah,
then I'm not
yeah,
just there
he
yet.
gets more
But
moments.
okay, but they have expanded on Jesse and Biggs. Like, for example, Jesse. Well, I mean, is can I go into detail? I know it's an old game, but I don't want to go into spoilers though.
You don't have to. No, you don't have to if you don't want to.
Okay, whatever. The point is, Jesse, you find out why she fights Shinra, and then when you get to Aerith's section, you find out something about Biggs, that he used to be, a part of like running an orphanage, and um, I think it was the orphanage, right? Because I
Yeah,
remember they were talking.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So he did get that, but he does get more later on.
yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, yeah. And as far as Wedge, well, like you said, I haven't gotten to
No,
that
Wedge. I'm sorry, you're
part
talking
yet.
about Wedge. Wedge is the big guy. Remember, he's the one who did the orphanage.
Yeah, Wedge. No, well, they said no. They said Biggs' name. They mentioned Biggs, not Wedge.
Wedge helped with the orphanage. Okay, then I guess you haven't gotten to that part yet.
Okay, cool. Damn it, Jesse. Anyway, but dude, it's cool because the world actually feels lived in. Like you're actually spending time in these parts. It's super expansive, and they really the pivotal scenes and the pivotal areas like Aerith's house, dude. It's fucking beautiful. Like you can finally showcase how much of a flower girl she is. I mean, she's more than that, but you know what I mean. But dude, it's nice. It's super nice. It's
Yeah.
it's so good, and also I like how you gain summons now. That you actually have to fight the summon before you can earn it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah.
Some
Well,
of
I
the summons are
mean,
a pain
that
in the
was
ass though.
well. I don't know about you, but Shiva was a fucking bitch. Like
Really?
she
Oh,
was.
okay.
Well, then again, I remember I'm still learning the combat. I'm also stubborn as fuck. You even see me play, yelling at me. Use your actions. Use your
Yeah.
abilities. You're letting
'Cause I just see
your
you there, just
bars
sitting there for
spill.
full bars. I'm like, why are you sitting there? Like you popping abilities like
I'm
crazy.
I'm still learning. I'm still learning, and also I'm trying to like use more magic as well because it helps with staggers. But especially now with Aerith because she is magic oriented, so she's forcing me to like actually um sit down and use and like plan out my magic spells and shit. So especially with Hell House. Like, dude, if I didn't use magic, I would have fucking been pulling whatever hair I had left out of my head.
Yeah, you need to use magic at that point. The game is like, okay, now it's time for you to use magic. Like you have to use everything you've learned to this point now for this boss fight, because if not, it's very tricky,
Yeah,
right? You have to learn like
it
how to
is.
pressure them, and then once you pressure them, you have to learn like what are the best abilities to use to actually get the stagger bar up, so you can actually do meaningful
Yeah,
damage. Because you don't do a lot of damage if you don't stagger them most of the time. At least.
exact. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, which oddly enough, kind of sounds a lot like the break gauge from Trails.
Yeah, right. But
Yeah.
actually, it did remind me of it. But like a stagger mechanic did exist in Final Fantasy 13. I don't know if you remember or not. There was a
I don't think
stagger.
so.
Yeah, there was a stagger meter that was there. It worked very similar. Like if you exploited their weaknesses and you applied debuffs to them, then it would increase the stagger bar. And a lot of times like, you had to do it. If not, like they just wouldn't die. Especially for the summon battles where it was like 1-on-1, and if you didn't kill them in time, they just do an instant kill attack on you.
Yep. That.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you, Shiva. Piece of shit.
Yeah, they kind of carry that over in Final Fantasy VII remake and rebirth as well. But now there's actually like counterplay to it. Like you can set up barrier and stuff like before you get hit by it. So maybe you can possibly survive.
Oh yeah. See, I forgot about barrier.
Oh, don't worry, me too. Like I barely used barrier, and only like in rebirth, like because the jump in difficulty is pretty significant from remake
Oh really?
to rebirth. Yeah, like
Oh wow.
especially towards like the optional content. The main story stuff's still pretty easy for the most part until you get like the end of the game, and then it gets kind of tough. But like when you do the optional stuff and the post game stuff, yeah, you need to use everything they give you. Everything, especially on hard mode, because all the challenges force you to play on hard mode, and everything does like triple damage at that point. Like you get like 3-shot if you don't play properly.
Oof. That's scary.
But I mean, you'll be at a good level by then, so you should be able to handle it. You'll have a ton of abilities. I don't know how it is in remake, because I never did hard mode in remake. Because by the time I finished remake, I was already hopping on to rebirth.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely be achievement hunting that one.
Yeah, and luckily it's not super long. And the hardest part is just finishing it on hard mode. And just I mean, the thing with hard mode is that you do got to kind of grind a little bit, like the main story stuff again on normal mode, so you can get like all of the right materials, because you need certain materials to excel in it, because you can't use your items in hard mode. So
Yeah. Oh,
so there's no way to
wow.
get your MP back outside of regeneration and outside of the shards that you get from the boxes. Yeah, like
Damn.
even the benches don't give you back MP.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's super hard.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to be really concerned. Like prayer and chakra, start buffing them right now. Like start using them.
Prayer and chakra. Okay,
Yeah.
I will.
Don't worry. And if you miss some, you can always there'll be a chance to get them later. So don't worry about like picking stuff up now and grinding it out.
All right, then sounds good.
All right. Any other thoughts?
Well, there's no like what Aerith is Bay. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what else you want me to say.
I'm so glad you said that.
No, because dude, I'm serious. Like, I was like, yeah, Tifa, whatever, old friend thing. Yeah, I get it. And then Aerith literally dropped. I dropped in on her, and then that was it. I was like, oh, shit. Never mind. I'm sorry. Sorry, Tifa.
I know. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised too, because I figured you would have liked Tifa more.
I do, but I mean, I do like her, but again, I don't know how to explain it. Oh, damn! I forgot. Fuck! I forgot what it was. I thought about it too. I don't know. She just hits he hits different.
She's just so charming. It's what it is. Like she's just so charming
Yeah.
and out there, right? She's very
Yes.
funny. But she can also be very, very kind, right?
Dude, yes, she's hilarious.
She's hilarious.
She-
And I always love a funny girl. Like that's really what it was for me. It's like she was just so funny. She makes me laugh.
yeah,
Like if a girl can make me laugh, like oh, I love you already. Like it was the same thing with
It's
Fee,
like-
right?
yes,
Fee was
like-
hilarious, so that's why I loved her. Like this girl doesn't give a fuck. She's great. it was kind of the same thing with Aaron. It was like, oh, this girl is hilarious. She's not afraid to speak her mind, but she's also, really cute and very sweet at the same time. So it's like, oh, this is just like the perfect girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's this waifu simulator that I'm playing.
Waifu simulator. Oh.
Well, in that case, then I might as well tell you about Rebirth, right?
Yeah,
so,
please do.
I mean, so I played through the whole game, right? I did almost all the side stuff. I did pretty much all the like the open world stuff you can do. There's some stuff that you have to wait until post game to do, but I did pretty much obviously the main story, right? I finished the main story, and then all the side stuff, right? So in Remake, right, it's very linear for the most part until you get to like the end of the game, in which case then you can travel between the 3 sectors. And it's like they took that section of the game and made that like the entire basis of Rebirth. Mm-hmm. Right? So now like you go to you do your story stuff, and then like you unlock the region, right? And then you have all this region side activities you can do. And it's like basic Ubisoft stuff. It's like, oh, climb the tower to like reveal objectives. Kill like certain monsters with like or completing certain objectives, right? Find like, life springs so you can unlock more stuff. But like unlike an Ubisoft game, right? It's done with, a Final Fantasy flavor, right? You're running around in the Final Fantasy world. So it feels fresh, even though like it's doing something very familiar. Like I was never bored at all, or I never felt like, oh, okay, I'll do this again, right? Like almost I never felt that at all. And it really helps that the story is really good, right? The characters are absolutely amazing. Like I said in the previous episode, like this is probably my favorite cast of RPG characters, at least in any Japanese RPG game, like for sure. Like as far as the Japanese side, yeah, this is like my favorite cast of Japanese characters. And a lot of times, like they'll have character moments within those side quests, right? Because the side quests in Remake, they suck. It's just like, oh hey, go here and get this thing for me, or go find some cats, right? And, oh my god,
yeah, oh god, fucking cats. I remember that one.
So like in Rebirth, it's like, oh okay, like you'll do something that kind of sucks, but there's usually a pretty good payoff because you almost always have some great character moment between Cloud and some other side character that you'll always be able to experience. So it really does a great job at characterizing the characters and getting you feel for the world and care about it. So that way, when it comes time to save it, right, you're motivated to save it. So yeah. So then, as you go through the game, right, you unlock every region, and then eventually, like you unlock all the regions, and you can travel through them. You can always backtrack too to any region you previously unlocked. And so like that's the the basic loop of the game, right? Story, do region stuff, you get upgrades, right? You get new crafting items also, so you can craft new gear for yourself. Right, you do that. You just do that like over and over again, right? And then by the end of the game, you unlock everything, and then you get more side quests, so you do all the side quests there. So you get to the end of the game, right? And for the most part, the story's been pretty one-to-one compared to the original. Obviously, like things were expanded and some things were mixed around. Obviously, like the Whisperers, which are in the Remake, right? They are in Rebirth.
Yeah.
They've been changed around a bit though, right? Like I'm not gonna go too much into it, obviously for spoiler reasons, but they have been changed around, right? They've added like a new layer of mystery to them about like who they are. So by the end of the game, right? Kind of loses its fucking mind. Like, so, oh man. So I have so many mixed feelings about the ending, because the really confusing thing is like the ending of Remake sort of suggested that you're going to be like, you're going to go crazy, right? With Rebirth. It's going to be like, oh, we're going to do whatever the fuck we want, right? Right. Cause I'm not going to say what happened in the ending, but I mean, you can kind of infer based on what I'm saying. They're like, yeah, we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want with the story, and then eventually, like, it kind of just plays the same beats. It's like, oh, okay, I guess you're not gonna go crazy, right? And then you get to the last like 2 chapters, and then the game loses its fucking mind. Oh my god! So I can't go into it too much. It'll be spoilers for the original game, which you never finished, so I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
And then obviously be spoilers for Rebirth. Right, but there's a big pivotal moment that happens in OG that they do in the ending of Rebirth, but they do it in the craziest, most convoluted way possible, where it's like, wait, did it happen? Did it not happen? What's going on, right? So the fate of many characters is kind of left uncertain by the end, whereas in OG, right, original PS1 Final Fantasy, like it was pretty definitive, like what was happening, because it becomes a huge story dump by the end. And I was praising the story, but admittedly, nothing much happens in the story for Rebirth in the first half, right? It's mostly like a road trip. It's like a great road trip. Like it's a super cool road trip with cool friends. It's only the second half where like the plot starts to pick up, and then it feels like 60% of the plot was like dumped in the last 2 chapters. So it was so much to absorb that like you couldn't really sufficiently absorb it all in. So then by the end of the game, you're like, what? Like, okay, I guess, right? And actually, it's actually made a lot of people mad. Like, a lot of people were like, oh, well, you should have just made it like the original. Or people were like, it didn't hit the same because it was so confusing and you were setting up so much story. I mean, for me, I am mixed, but I will say that I'm intrigued. Right? Like, because they do set some stuff up for the third game that's new. My only concern is that they're not going to follow through on it, because in Remake, right, like I said earlier, it felt like they were going to do whatever the fuck they want. And they kind of didn't follow through on that. So I'm scared they're just going to, like, they're doing this for the sake of, like, just hyping up the third game. Like, oh, you want to know what happens? So let's better buy the third game. And then the third game is like, oh, it's just the same shit that happened in OG. Like, okay, great, cool. Especially as a fan of certain characters, like I'm gonna be so mad if we just go through the same beats of a third game, because like you gave you fucking blue balled me for fucking 140 hours between 2 games, right? Actually, like 200 hours, because I beat Remake twice, so like 40 hours each. So yeah, like 200 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wish I could go deeper into it. Like, I have to wait for you to finish Rebirth, or at least be at a point where you're okay with being spoiled. Because you never finished OG either, which is why I recommended you just play OG. Right? It's actually not that long of a game. You can beat it like in 40 hours. It just isn't that long.
That's pretty long for
compared to the 100-hour, monstrosity I played, and the 100-hour monstrosity of like Baldur's Gate we've played, last year. Right? That's nothing. That's like fucking peanuts, right?
I know, but still, dude. Like, we still have to finish tactician mode on that.
I know. Ooh.
I would love to play with Manny, but my guy, I feel like we see him twice every.
Bro, he's like herding a cat with him.
Yeah, dude, really.
It's like trying to get a fucking cat into your house. But I digress, right? So, I mean, that's the ending. Right? That's my feelings on the ending. Just very mixed feelings. It's going to depend all on the third game. The third game's where all the payoff's gonna come off, right? And if the payoff is bad, I'm gonna be really mad. But I'm still happy with the game, right? I still love the game. It's one of the best games I've ever played. Like, probably my top games of all time, to be honest. I would give it like a 10 out of 10. Like, no questions asked, right? And then the post-game stuff, right? So the game was like, oh, you're done? Like, with your 100 hours gameplay, or game playthrough, right? We got more shit now. So now we have unlockable characters you can use for new challenges. We have hard mode. We have hard mode challenges now, which I'm doing right now, and they are crazy fucking hard. Like, there are some that I'm taking like multiple days on them. I still have not finished them because they're so fucking difficult. Like, some of them will take like 2-3 hours for me to finish, because it's a series of battles, and if you fuck up one, that's it. Like, you have to do the whole thing over again. And they're long fights. Like, each fight's like 5 minutes each, and you do 5 back to back. It's like 30 minutes pretty much. And then you get like new quests you unlock. You can do those. So tons and tons of content. I think now I'm like at 140 hours now, I think. So I played like an additional like 30 something hours between like all the challenges and post game stuff. Yeah, but that's enough of that. Let's talk about some news, man, because this has actually been a pretty long prologue.
Yeah. Well, hey, we
got a lot to
whenever
cover.
there's a good game, hey, listen, whenever there's a good game, we got to suck its dick, right? That's just the way it goes.
First Baldur's Gate, now Rebirth, which is Man, if there's a better game than Rebirth, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. 'Cause I don't know how. I don't know how it's gonna happen. All right, so let's get into some discussions, some
Sounds
news.
good to me. Let me see if I. Oh, finish my coffee. Lame. It's all right. All right. All
All
right. Let's
right,
see what we got.
so for our first order of news here, we have an article by IGN where Keyword Studios, a outsourced studio that works on other pretty much any game you need help with, right? They've worked on Baldur's Gate, Tears of the Kingdom, and Alan Wake 2, right, among other games, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
apparently, Keywords, the same studio, decided they were going to do an experiment, and they tried to create a 2D game using only generative AI. And
Mm-hmm.
their findings were, yeah, AI ain't shit. Like, right?
AI ain't shit.
Well, I mean, it ain't shit. Like, that's not what they said. Right? But what they pretty much said is AI is good for certain things, but it cannot replace talent, which, like, water is wet, right? It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, so they said in an article by a game developer, in an earnings report, actually, I'm sorry. It was an earnings report where they reported up the findings on their experiment, and they spoke about how generative AI has the potential to augment game development processes, but obviously, like, it cannot replace talent, right? So, one of the key learnings was that whilst generative AI may simplify or accelerate certain processes, the best results and quality needed only can be achieved by experts in their field utilizing Gen AI as a new, powerful tool in their creative process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, AI has been kind of, a big hubbub, right, within the
Yeah, and it's
industry,
still, and
right?
it's only growing. It's only
Yeah,
growing.
and it's only growing. I mean, it's here to stay, right? I mean, so we might as well learn how to make use of it. But I mean,
Yes.
the of course the concern is always the suits, right? Like, is we know
Yeah.
suits are going to use any chance they can get to cut the human factor out, right? Because
Yeah.
once you cut out the human factor and you automate a process, right, it becomes cheaper. You don't have to pay, a robot a living salary. You don't have to give them PTO. You don't have to worry about them complaining to HR. You
Yeah.
don't have to worry about them taking time off, right? They can just do whatever they want. But I mean, at least according to these findings, right, it is encouraging to know that AI is nowhere close to being good enough to make a good game.
Yes. And the most important thing is also it provided valuable insight on what it can be used for. Because after all, a smart person or a smart developer will recognize AI as a tool to be used in a developer's toolkit, and not as a replacement for the human being. So they should use. I mean, this is kind of this is kind of stupid, but they really should just be using AI to automate the more redundant processes, and then have the talent come in to refine the artwork or put those touches that truly show that that quality assurance was on the case to make the game good for release, which is
Yeah,
essentially what they're saying with this article.
exactly. And then, this hasn't been the first time that AI has been used within the development process. I don't know if you remember the GTA collection and like what happened with that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's like apparently for the GTA collection, they were like, yeah, let's just use AI to like texture everything, right? And
Yeah,
then,
dude. I think they had used. I think they fucking took the uh, AI upscaling and they just fucking ran with it because that's all they they that's all they did was just use AI to upscale the graphics for like high definition, and then well, we've seen the pictures. We know.
yeah, it's created some fucking abominations,
Yeah, bro, monstrosity.
right? Yeah, absolutely awful, right? And then I think there was like another, I think a while back, like there was like a video of like AI dialogue within a video game. I don't know if
Mm.
you remember
The,
that.
I think I do remember, but I mostly remember the Twitch channel that was using AI to write Family Guy episodes.
Oh, okay.
Dude, yes. No, not only writing, but also like uh, the 3D thing. Like they actually made a whole ass episode of Family Guy, animated and written by artificial intelligence. And dude, it was the weirdest. It was the weirdest. It was the weirdest
No, look
shit,
at
man.
this shit, bro. It's fucking.
Dude, what the? And that's dude. That's Vice City, right?
I
That's
think
my
so.
dude. Because I recognized that model from when I played that
No,
game,
I'm sure she was a lot hotter in the original game.
bro. Oh my god, man. It's funny because I look at that and I'm like, man, please don't fuck up GTA 6. That's Vice City. That's my favorite game in the franchise. You're
Oh
gonna
no. Oh no, don't worry.
please don't.
I don't think though. I think they understand with
Yeah, they
6.
better. They
I
better.
mean, the worst thing we can expect is like any scummy business practices behind it, which will probably be reserved for strictly the online. I imagine.
Oh yeah, the whole shark cards shit
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
do. Yeah, yeah.
They're probably just reserved for
I
the online stuff, and then hopefully the single player stuff will at least be good.
You know what, dude? Yeah, we should play the online for that one. That'd be dope. Imagine
Yeah.
doing
Well, we'll see whenever the game
heists.
comes out. Like, it's supposed to be next year, right?
Yeah, well, for consoles it's next year. For some reason they don't have a release date for
Oh,
PC,
okay.
which
Well, I guess
again,
2026, bro.
dude, it baffles my freaking mind. But whatever. Dude, can you imagine doing heists in Wynwood?
Oh man, all those gentrified cafes you can just fucking stick up.
And microbreweries and shit.
Gonna fucking do graffiti on the walls. The famous
Oh,
walls of Wynwood. Yeah. So again, very encouraging news. Hopefully, the industry takes the right lessons from this. Although I doubt it. Right, we're gonna have to learn a lot more painful lessons in the future. But for now, right, I'm glad to hear that AI isn't gonna be taking over anytime soon.
yes.
All right. So it was a nice, small little story, little encouraging story.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another little encouraging story. Well, not encouraging for the person involved, but so we have another article from IGN where Starbreeze's CEO Tobias Shio. Damn, I should have practiced ahead of time. Sjögren, I guess that's how you say it.
It's
fucking
Swedish.
Swedish, yeah.
Tobias Sjögren.
Sjögren, I guess that's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
Has been let go from Starbreeze after Payday 3's disastrous launch. Now, of course, it's never been confirmed that Starbreeze is releasing him because of Payday 3's disastrous launch, but I'm sure it didn't help, right?
It did not help at all.
Yeah, Starbreeze hasn't really been doing too hot lately. They were on the verge of bankruptcy before Payday 3 came out, and I don't know how they are now, but you know,
Yeah. Well,
yeah, we don't know, but we do know, right, that Tobias is going to be saying bye-bye to his CEO seats, and Payday 3 still is a busted-ass game, right? In fact, it's so busted that, according to Steam charts, or SteamDB, I'm sorry, Payday has a 24-hour peak of 378 players. Holy shit. Meanwhile, Payday 2, a game that came out, 10 years ago, I think,
is consistently pulling numbers.
has 31,000 people, 31,866 to be exact, right? And then Payday 3 has a overwhelmingly negative user review score.
Yep.
So, I mean, this is kind of a... So the reason why I picked the story is that it's kind of a rare instance of corporate accountability. I mean, even though, we all know the reason why this guy got fired is because, they were fucking with the money. He was fucking with the money, right?
Yeah.
But even then, it's a nice feeling to know, hey, you know what? An executive finally suffered some consequences.
Yeah, of course.
You have any thoughts on
it's
this?
Well, I mean, I remember when Payday 3 was announced, I was very excited, and then the more I read about it, the more I was concerned because it was gonna be using Denuvo. It was gonna be an always online live service experience. Essentially, it had all the typical red flags for a video game nowadays, and I was like, oh, dude, no fucking way, you're gonna fuck this shit up, man. Oh man. So yeah. So it came out, and I remember like it would not let people play. Like the servers were consistently crap, and because it's always online, you can't play.
Yeah, you can't play.
So it was kind of sad because dude, like the art for it looked pretty fucking cool. Um, and yeah, just it had a lot of problems. It had a lot of issues that were like not addressed. Um, Essentially, it's just having a lot of problems right now. Kind of like another game that came out, which we will be covering later. Um, and
Yeah, from what I've
no,
understood, they've been very slow to fix it.
yes, very slow, very very slow, shockingly slow. Like as of 2024, it said well aware that fans weren't satisfied,
And
and this
when did this
and
game
this
come out?
game, and I think it was September of
Damn.
last year.
Okay.
Yes, dude.
Wow. Yeah, so it's
Yes.
been pretty much 6 months at this point, right? And then the game is largely in the same place it's been at the start.
Yep.
That's wow. Okay.
Yeah. No. It's crazy. I think, dude, they were tweeting like nonstop, like, "Oh, hey, we fixed the servers. Oh shit, the servers crashed again. We're working on it." Like that. That kind of.
Oh,
But not like Helldivers. Not like Helldivers, where it's like, "Oh yeah, the servers are crashing because there's such an overwhelming demand." It's like, no. It's your classic crashing because it sucks. That's the point. So
yeah, they did not suffer from success.
no, they did not suffer from success. No. Um. So I don't know. I don't know what they were. It's just not. It's just not working. It's not like the game itself is busted, and people are unhappy with it. So
Did you ever actually play it, or did you just no
nope.
immediately? You were immediately like, okay, I'm gonna steer clear of this.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna wait, and I did wait, and I'm still waiting, and it's just not getting
You're gonna be
better.
waiting
So
for a long time then.
honestly, it's uh, it's fine. It's fine.
It's
I've
fine.
got other games. I've got
It's
other
okay.
games to play. I've got other co-op games to play. You know, and I'm pretty sure spreading democracy is a lot more fulfilling than robbing banks. So,
Yes, spreading democracy is always a good thing. Spreading democracy and fighting for rock and stone, right? We always have
fighting for rock and stone or fighting for Aerith, I will always fight for Aerith.
our waifus, rock and stone, and democracy. This God intended.
Hell yeah. But yeah, so I wish them well because Payday is a cool concept. You know, they were essentially were doing the whole heisting thing before GTA, so at least
Well,
I think that was the case.
well, slight divergence. Did you hear about the game Den of Wolves?
That sounds very familiar.
It's
Can you
being made by
refresh?
former Payday developers, and it's like Payday, but like in the future. It's like Cyberpunk Payday.
Oh, that sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I'd play that.
you should check it out.
Okay, I will. All
They
right, I
haven't
will
shown
check it
much
out.
out of it outside of pre-rendered trailers, but like the whole selling point is like, hey, we're Payday guys. We're gonna make Payday, but Cyberpunk.
We're the actual Payday developers that we left because our studio sucks ass. So now we're gonna make our own.
Yeah, well, let's hope it's not a Turtle Rock situation.
Oh, jeez, bro.
Hey, we're the Left 4 Dead guys. We're gonna make Left 4 Dead again.
Bro, you seen the Crobcat the Crobcat video on it,
Yes,
right?
yes, I have, of course.
Dude, that ending where the ending where they showed like the whole list of credits and only four people were Turtle Rock and the rest were Valve. I was like, you motherfuckers, you were some of the most misleading sons of bitches on the planet. You deserve to you deserve to fail.
Yeah, it was all Valve, man.
It was all Valve. Not shocking, but yeah, that was all Valve. Anyway,
All right. Well, again, another little small story, right? Well, we have another one here that's also pretty uplifting, right? We have a running theme here, right? Some
yeah,
uplifting
uplifting.
news.
Yeah, good news.
Before we get into the shit. So, and another big win in the industry, we have an article here from CNBC where a new Activision Blizzard QA union has now formed as of March 9th. and it is the largest in the entire video game industry. And it consists of a group of roughly 600 software testers at Activision Blizzard, and as of right now, they have now working under a new labor neutrality agreement, which took effect under Microsoft when Microsoft acquired Activision in October. So, yeah, man, this is really huge, right? Because
Yeah.
studios have been kind of, or developers in studios have been pushing for unions now. We had Raven Software; they had like their own little union
Yes.
that they formed. Like,
I think we covered that. Yeah.
yeah, I was like that was like last year, early last year, I feel like, or mid last year. But and then we have other, like, a lot of places increasingly unionizing as workers have begun to realize that, hey, we're not being valued by our bosses, like we're just being tossed away, like
Screwed.
garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting screwed.
So yeah, really, really, really cool. Any thoughts on this?
I like it. I think of all companies that need it, Activision Blizzard needs people to tell, their workers, hey, this product kind of sucks. You sure you want to deliver it in this state? So I think it's very important that we have quality assurance because they're desperately needed. Desperately, desperately needed. Hopefully, this will signify a wider turn for the industry at large, which I'm sure it will. But yeah, I completely, wholeheartedly agree with this.
Now, the really interesting thing about this is how Microsoft has been kind of hands off with it. Right? They haven't tried to step in, and they've actually agreed to the agreement. At least it seems like it that way.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the labor agreement, right? They require that Microsoft remained neutral about employees who ever express interest in unionizing, and it also provide adequate lines of communication information for those workers, like, to decide. So, in other words, right, you shouldn't do anything to actively sabotage employees from joining the union, and you should also make it easy for them to, like, get information on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I think is a great idea.
So
I think.
No, continue.
No, I'm just saying. No, I was just saying. I think Microsoft is really doing a good job. Keeping in line with what they promised. To really just let, you know, essentially let workers do what they feel they need to do, and not just in terms of making games, but also unionizing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would have been nice if they didn't lay off, 1,900 people
Well, unfortunately, yeah,
a
but
few months back.
you know, you gotta take some of those W's with the L's, I suppose.
But do you think this is a sign of a better management direction for Activision Blizzard?
Mm, I don't know, because I mean, it shows that they're like that workers are uniting. We just have to see um, if it'll actually cause management to do anything. Because if management's just kind of like sitting back, then they're either they're stupid or they don't see them as a threat. Um, we have to see how management reacts to it, honestly.
Okay, well, so far it seems like they've been kind of hands off, which
Yeah,
is
so far. But then again, that's Microsoft at large. I mean, Activision Blizzard still has a new CEO, which, by the way, is another scumbag. That was like like, fuck, I forgot what it was, but she was another suit for EA. Was it? Do you remember her name?
Joanna Fries. Yeah, she was for Call of Duty.
Yes. So yeah, dude. No, she. I don't. That's who we have to worry about. Because Microsoft, like I said, like we said, it's they're letting people do their own thing. They're letting the companies and the studios manage themselves. So it's really going to be up to her. We have to see how she reacts to it. I don't trust her to push for a fair deal. So we'll see. But hopefully they can like force her hand. That would be the best case scenario. Force her hand into an amicable agreement or a fair agreement.
Okay. Well, I mean, so far so good, right? It's still kind of win that
Oh, it's a huge win. I'm not. I'm
that this
not. I'm not. Let's
direction
be clear.
is being taken with
Yeah,
that
let
the
me be
employees
clear.
taking direction.
Now, let me be clear. This is a definite win. Um, if more people start doing this, then I think CEOs and executives will start to take notice, and then real change can happen. So I hope this is a good first step.
Yeah, I hope so too. All right, man. So I think that's it for uplifting news, right? You
Fine.
ready to get into this shit? Right. This is actually a pretty big one. It's kind of flew under the radar because I feel like not a lot of people reported on this,
Yeah.
but apparently as of March 8th, in an article by Polygon, it reports that Warner Brothers is going to be delisting games published under the Adult Swim license pretty soon. Yeah, so this how this story broke out was that apparently a developer by the name of Michael Molinari, who released a game called Sound Dodger, Sound Dodger Plus. He received a warning from a rep that said like, hey, we're gonna remove your game from Steam within the next 60 days. And from there, he was like, okay, what do you mean by like delisted or do you mean deleted? They weren't really clear on that.
Yeah.
But apparently, this is affecting many games. Like, so this isn't just an isolated incident, right? It's affecting any game that's under the Adult Swim that was published by Adult Swim. So actually, I have the page open right now, and it affects games like Ghost Song, which is a cool game. Actually, I did play it on doing one of the Next Fests. It's like a Metroidvania game, really cool. Game called Raise the Dead, Pool Panic, King Sway, Rick and Morty, Virtual reality, right? So you're a Rick and Morty fan. A lot of games. And then, of course, there's a Samurai Jack game too, which is a cool game.
Oh wow.
I actually
And
bought
they're
it.
they're gonna delete that too.
Yeah, well, I mean, in some cases, the studio actually owns the IP, right? Yeah, Samurai Jack Battle Through Time. So, to continue off this story, let me see. Oh, whoops, let me put OBS back up. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so it's like to continue it, right? So the reason why this is a problem, obviously because you're delisting the game too. However, at least in Molinari's case and in some other cases, the WB did say, hey, like we're gonna delist the game, but you are allowed to publish it yourself because you own the rights to it.
Yeah.
But you have to wait until after it's done. Now, of course, Molinari was like, hey, can't you guys just transfer it to me now? Like, it's really easy. I just send you this link. You just push 3 buttons. And the rep was like, well, logistics, right? So it's resource intensive, right?
Oh my god.
The quotes was that so the Warner Brothers Discovery representative said the decision not to transfer ownership back to developers stems from logistical and resource constraints and the limited capacity of our team.
Bullshit.
All right, one developer Polygon spoke with said Adult Swim Games team consisted of a skeleton crew. Okay, so there's a skeleton crew, but like this guy sends a link. Like he did the work for you. He said, okay, here, look, just press these 3 buttons, right? And the license goes to me, right?
Yeah.
Like, how many people does it take to do that? Even if you have like one guy there, right? One guy can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, another developer by the name of Matt Lewandowski, who is the developer for the game Fist Puncher, also reported that he has a very similar story too. Like he was like, oh, like okay, well then can you just transfer license to me? And they're like, no, logistics, right?
Yeah,
Resource,
logistics.
right? The same bullshit roundabout response that they gave him. And yeah, it seems like now Warner Brothers kind of continuing their cutting streak, right? We saw them shelving movies, and now they're kind of going into the game space and being like, all right, we got to start making cuts here and there, right? So we're gonna start delisting, and we're gonna take apart the Adult Swim publishing branch. which is a real shame, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, they could republish it, but the problem is that they still lose all the data, like guides. They lose guides. They lose reviews,
Yeah.
videos, stuff like that. So all that stuff goes away, and then they have to go through the trouble of removing all mentions of Adult Swim games credits, which obviously brings up issues with game preservation. Right? There's people who helped make this game a reality, and publishers are a part of that process. So like to cut them out of that,
Yeah,
kind of
it's pretty
sucks.
fucked. Yeah, it sucks ass.
Yeah, actually, when I read the story, I actually bought like quite a few games actually from them. Yeah, I bought the Samurai Jack game. I bought what was it, Sound Dodger. I bought Ghost Story, which and I admittedly haven't played any of these games except for Ghost Story, which I did play the demo for.
Yeah.
It was a cool game. I'm sorry, Ghost Song. I don't know why I said Ghost Story. Ghost Song, which is a cool game. I really liked it. So I'll probably play it sometime soon. Whenever I'm hop off Rebirth's nuts. So any thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, from a game preservation standpoint, this kind of sucks, and also fuck WB because they seem to be really they're trying really hard to fucking cut costs, and it blows. I mean, even though I have really never heard of these games except for maybe the Rick and Morty VR game, yeah, dude, like I don't know what they're trying to do. Like it seems like they really just want to take a bunch of properties down with them because they won't even transfer, ownership back, even though it really just takes 2 seconds. So I don't know what these fucking people want.
Oh, they just want to save money, right?
No, I know, but
That's all it comes down
yeah,
to.
yeah, but transferring ownership that doesn't take any cash, does it? That doesn't cost anything.
Well, I mean, but what if you need it, right? Like it's they always like these people think like dragons, right? Like I'm never gonna use it. I'm probably never gonna use it, but I might use it, right? So they just hoard all that treasure just to have it.
Well, at that point it's just a matter of greed, which whatever. Man. I don't want to get into this shit. That's gonna make me upset.
I
But
mean,
it's fucking
that's always what it
bullshit.
comes down to, right?
It's bullshit. Oh my gosh, so sorry. It's bullshit what they're doing. This fucking sucks.
Yeah, I'll have to play these games and report on it. Be like, hey, these games are kind of cool. I hope they're cool. I spent like $40. Well, 70 because for some reason the Samurai Jack game is not on discount, even though it's about to be delisted. So I had to buy it for a full 40.
Full 40.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, full price. I had to buy it for full price, and I think it was $40. It was either 40 or 30, but I think it was 40. Pretty sure it was 40. I can't see the price now because I already purchased it, but I'm pretty sure it was 40.
Well, you can see the Steam page, right? Or is it already gone?
No, I could. Oh yeah, it's 40.
Ugh.
Yeah, so it was a $40 game, right? And then I had to spend money on the other games were discounted. It's also extra weird because we're in the middle of a Steam Spring Sale, and it didn't happen. Like, it just didn't discount it, even though they discounted it in every other Steam sale. They just haven't decided not to now for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Maybe they figure, oh well, people are gonna buy it anyways, right? Because of it wants to be scarce, scarcity bias, right?
Yeah.
The more scarcer something is, the more valuable it is to you. Yeah, all around it sucks.
Oh, that sucks.
All right, so now let's talk about some company splitting, right? So for our next story, we have details on Saber Interactive splitting from Embracer. So for those of you who were listening in on last episode, I think, right? I think it was last episode where we spoke about how Saber Interactive actually bought themselves out in an interesting turn of fate, right? They saved themselves from the jaws of Embracer and their idiotic business practices costing the jobs of thousands of people. So we have now some specific details on that. And in an article by IGN, apparently the deal was valued at around $247 million and was actually the result of Beacon Interactive, which is a company that was set up by a co-founder of Saber Interactive. It's like a parent company, and they offered to purchase up, right? Purchase up Saber from Embracer, and of course Embracer said yes. But now we have like we know like specifically what they bought up. So for starters, right, Beacon actually purchased 4A Games, which for those who don't know who 4A Games is, they're the ones who developed the really good Metro games, like Metro 2033, Last Light, and then Exodus. Good games, right? I only played 2033, but all three of them are highly acclaimed games. And interestingly enough, they were actually cost like an extra pretty penny, and they actually were the reason why, the main reason why it was so expensive to purchase a studio. But so we have here a list of things that are now part of Beacon Interactive, and that includes Saber branded studios, Nimble Giant, who make Star Trek Infinite, Digic, which is a 3D animation studio, never heard of them, Saber Interactive Inc., right, which means Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 2, right, is in the clear.
Yep.
And hopefully, right, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, right? So, for those of you who don't remember, originally, Aspire was actually going to make the remake for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which after seeing how they've handled the collection, thank God it got taken out of their hands.
Thank God.
So now
Don't
maybe
let bro cook with it.
Yeah, maybe with this deal, right? Maybe we can finally get a remake of Knights of the Old Republic. I don't think anytime soon, right? But at least like there's hope, right? There's finally hope. We have some hopium, right? Not copium.
No, hopium.
Yeah, it's hopium here. But then there's also like a support studios that are part of the deal, PR agency, Madhead Studios, who made the game Scars Above, Slipgate, who made Kingpin Reloaded and Graven, which apparently these games aren't very good, right? Graven was kind of a weird game. Had like a mismatch of design choices from what I hear, which is a shame because I was kind of looking forward to it. It was like it's like a boomer shooter, but like in the style of closer to Hexen. I don't know if you've ever remember Hexen.
Hexen sounds familiar, but I'd be lying if I said I knew what it was.
It's like Doom, but like with wizards, pretty much.
Oh, that
It's
sounds pretty
interesting.
dope.
Yeah, it's like Doom, but like you could play as like a cleric or a mage, and like the levels are like you could really explore between the levels. You don't have it's not like linear.
Yeah.
And then Kingpin Reloaded, apparently that game just sucks, right? That was supposed to be the remaster of the Kingpin, which is a game that came out in '99, I believe. PC game, kind of a cult classic, but apparently they completely butchered it, and it's absolutely awful. Like, it has tons of glitches, tons of lighting issues. Beacon Interactive now also has New World Interactive, which are developers of Insurgency, Day of Infamy, and Insurgency Sandstorm, which must be a very big sigh of relief because they actually got screwed by Embracer and they had to force to be hit with a ton of layoffs. And then finally, it's 3D Realms, who are the classic developers of Duke Nukem, right? If you remember them, right?
Yeah, no, they're well known. They're well known.
Yeah, they are well known, right? And they now make a bunch of boomer shooters nowadays. They did Ion Fury, which used to be formerly known as Ion Maiden before Iron Maiden came along. We're like, no, that's confusing, and then they sued them, so they had to change it. So stupid. But then, well, that's it for Beacon. And then, well, what does Embracer get? Well, they get 34 Big Things, right, which is a studio making the game Redout. Oh, wait. 4A Games?
Yeah, 4A Games. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Well, no, they had the option to Beacon. I think had the option, but I think they missed out because I think it was a fixed time period. At least according to the article.
But it said that Interactive indeed decided to buy both studios. Weird. Okay, maybe that might be a. Okay. I don't know. Okay, that's weird.
There might be a typo in the article
Yeah, that
itself.
might be. They might have included by accident. Well, then you have Snapshot, who made Phoenix Point and Chaos Reborn. Aspire, who did the Tomb Raider remasters. Starring
And
Lara Croft, don't forget. That's so weird they put that in the title. They did the much maligned Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, which we'll be talking about very shortly. They still retain Tripwire, who make the Killing Floor games. Beamdog, who made the Myth Force, which is that roguelike game inspired by 80s cartoons. Tuxedo Labs, who make the very popular Teardown. I don't know if you remember Teardown. That game is like a demolition simulator people really love.
Mm-hmm.
Then Demiurge, and then of course Zen Studios. But again, I think it might be a typo because part of the deal was that Beacon Interactive was going to buy Zen Studios because they were up for offer. But with all that, Embracer still has ownership, or they still have publishing rights over a lot of games, some of which overlap between the two. I'm not going to go too much into it, but I mean, that's pretty much nitty gritty of it, right? So this is kind of like interesting because we very rarely see studios do this, right? Split from other studios. Like once like you're absorbed into one studio, like you're kind of screwed at that point. It's very rare to see the studio live on independently. We saw very similarly with Toys for Bob, who managed to buy themselves and tear away from Microsoft and Activision Blizzard, which, thank God for them, right?
Yes.
So you have any thoughts on this? I know I've been talking a lot, just reading shit off.
No. Again, this is good news, specifically because of the KOTOR remake possibility of being saved, and that for me is the big one.
Yeah, that is a big one for me too. When I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, yes! Like,
oh my God, yes!
It lives, hopefully.
Hopefully it'll live. And hopefully they'll do a good job because considering that they just spent a lot of money buying themselves out, they're gonna need to recoup that cash. So it will be in their best interest to put their best foot forward with possibly what I think is the most important game in their lineup, or the most important IP in their lineup right now, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, 110%.
Yeah, like,
please.
Literally, like, you cannot fuck this up. Not because it's easy, but because if you fail, that's it. You're fucked. This game has to slap, and it has to slap hard.
It has to slap all our booty cheeks hard.
Dude, seriously. But if they do pull it off, that they'll be set. They'll be all set. Honestly, bro, they should fucking hire some people that worked on Baldur's Gate 3 to do the fucking remake. Well, I know we talked about that, but since it's looking like they're gonna keep the IP for themselves, yeah, go out and hire people that know how to fucking do this.
Oh, it's just a dream, right? Have Larry make Knights of the Republic 3.
Oh my God.
Fucking nut.
That would be cool. But it's looking like they're going to keep this IP. So really what they should do is at the very least like play Baldur's Gate and take the ideas from Baldur's Gate. Please do it. Literally a once in a generation game of a generation has come along. Learn from them. Please. Please learn from them.
Or at least just don't fuck up, right? Just don't release some broken mess.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's what we have come to expect so many times.
Yeah, I know, but still. But like I said, like they need a banger, and this is their banger. So they need to fucking not only succeed, but they need to fucking wow. They need to wow us with this crap. So yeah.
Oh, speaking of wowing, right, or lack of wowing.
Please go for it.
So for our next story here, we have some PS5 Pro talk, right? So the PS5 Pro is an open secret at this point. Everyone kind of knows that Sony likes to do their mid-generation upgrades where they'll sell a bigger, badder version of their console, right? So they did it for the PS4 with the PS4 Pro, and then before that they had the Slim, right? And the PS5 seems to be following the same traction, right? We have the base PS5, and the PS5 Slim, and now the PS5 Pro. So we have here some specs that they've actually leaked according to Insider Gaming, and it seems like the biggest improvement would be in the CPU. Right, so the headline improvements here are to CPU, which is said to be identical to the standard PS5 CPU, with a high CPU frequency mode, which amounts to a 10% increase to 3.85 GHz, and the GPU, which enables faster rendering, higher quality ray tracing, powered by 33.5 teraflops. Yeah, so that's a lot of words, and
that's a lot of words that just mean
your game's gonna be
okay.
faster.
Yeah, but like
Processing's
how
faster.
much? Yeah, but 10% is like is not that okay. 10% fine, but how much?
Well, it could be the difference between a game running at like a solid 60 and a game like fluctuating between like 45 and 60 all the time.
But again, a 10% increase. So how much is the PS5?
I don't remember. Actually, I think it's listed. No, it's not listed here. But it's from another article I saw. It's 450 currently without the hard drive, and if you want the hard drive, it's 80. It used to be 450 for digital only, with the hard drive included, and or 500 for the hard drive already built in. But now they only do the 450.
Okay, so 450 compared to how much do you think the Pro is going to cost?
Probably anywhere between extra $50 to $100.
Oh, that'd be more.
No, I don't think it costs that much more. I don't think the upgrade. It'll probably be 100. I imagine it'll be like either A, it'll be 550, or B, they'll depreciate the price of the PS4 to 400, and then just keep the PS5 Pro at 500.
Okay, so then 10% for $100. Okay, all right. Because I was worried, like, how much would the upgrade cost? But that,
They usually
I
bump
think
it up by 100.
Okay.
That's at least from what I remember, right? So, the big thing about this is though, it kind of begs the question: like, do we really like care about an upgrade at this point? Like, we kind of discussed this last episode or the episode.
Oh
before,
yeah, because
right, where we were like, I guess okay, but we felt like we've barely started, right? Like, even
yes,
and this sentiment has been kind of echoed by game devs who apparently during the GDC 2024, right, during a podcast interview by Games Industry, many developers were like, dude, we haven't even like scratched the surface like what the PS5 can do, like, because
yeah,
the PS5 and especially like the Xbox, right, well, mainly the PS5, right, because the Xbox is like been like kind of a non-factor, unfortunately. But like for the
Yeah.
PS5, it's been kind of like stalling in place for a long time. I mean, not entirely due to Sony's fault. Of course, they had to launch in the middle of a pandemic, so there was logistical issues and supply issues for 2 whole
Yeah.
years. But then you have studios that are releasing, cross-generation games like God of War and Horizon. Big console-selling, blockbuster games that were cross-gen, right? They were PS4 and PS5. So like,
Yeah.
for a while it was like, well, why should I buy a PS5? Like, many people, right? They would love to, play at a higher frame rate with some higher fidelity, but $500 for that's a tall order, right? Especially since you can't even get your hands on it. So
Yeah.
so you combine that with the fact that there hasn't been too many big new games coming out, and everyone's just asking, well, I mean, why? Like, you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah. Now it just seems stupid, like the PS5 Pro, because of I completely forgot about the conversation we had. I think it was the last episode, right?
Yeah, it was a big conversation. It was like,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so it's like, why? So you're going from, oh, we're approaching the end of our life cycle to, oh, hey, let's do a refresh for the console. It's like, oh, which is it? Are we approaching the end of the life cycle or what? Like, you're not being very clear. So, and if game developers are saying that they have not yet scratched the surface, then like, shouldn't you want them to keep working on it? That way, they can take the time to make a game that's optimized for the PlayStation, and then give Sony more time to, work on the next gen console that will actually result in a huge leap and, a huge technological leap. So I don't know.
Well, a lot of the speculation is that Sony hopes that by releasing the PS5 around the time GTA 6 comes out, that they'll generate a lot of interest in people buying copies of GTA 6 along with the PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
Because obviously GTA 6 is going to be a huge game, right? And it's going to require a lot of computing power because, Rockstar,
Yes.
they always go all out with their worlds. Their worlds are always huge. They're
Yes.
very detailed. And they always have a lot going on. So,
Polish is the word, yeah. It's awesome.
So what Sony's probably thinking is, hey, let's release it. Let's release this new console at the same time as what's probably going to be the biggest game of this generation. And let's hope that,
Whoa.
if this game is really good and people really, really want it, they'll buy PS5 Pros so they can play it in the best possible way, right? With the best possible frame rate, the best possible resolution, best possible loading times. Because, well, I mean, I don't remember Xbox mentioning any. I know they said we could cover them doing a mid-gen upgrade as well. But it doesn't seem like they're in as much of a hurry to get it out. So who knows? But in Sony's case, they're like, no, we need this now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, also forgot to mention, of particular interest, the PS5 Pro is said to have an upscaling / anti-aliasing solution called PSSR,
Yeah.
custom and an
Ooh,
AI
right.
accelerator. Excuse me, right? So essentially, it's gonna have built-in AI upscaling for like higher resolutions and stuff.
Kind of like what Nvidia does with their graphics
Yeah,
card,
kind of
right?
like what Nvidia does, which
Yeah.
could be pretty interesting and cool, right?
Yeah.
It would kind of depend on how flexible devs would make the graphic settings. Because generally speaking, consoles for the longest time have had no graphical settings. And only now are we getting some graphical settings. It's mostly just between two presets, between performance or fidelity, right? Depending on which one you prefer. If you want better frame rate, you go for performance. If you want better fidelity, you pick fidelity or graphics mode, so they call it all the times.
Yeah. No, it's pretty much it. Yeah, there's nothing more to say. I think it's funny though that the the whole thing with Xbox, they're in no hurry to get that out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
No, I know why. It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I've always gotten the impression that Xbox is like just gearing up for the next generation. They're playing for the next one.
Yeah, like they did last time.
Yeah, except like for realsies this time.
It's for real. Oh my
Because
God,
remember when the Xbox One was first revealed, and they're like, you're gonna be able to watch TV, movies, multimedia, right? They were so banking on that, and
Yes,
everyone
bro.
was like, "Is there 24-hour DRM check?" And they're like, "Did I tell you about TV?
yeah.
Did I mention TV?"
Is there backwards compatibility? Oh,
There is a TV.
yeah, there's the TV. It works. It works backwards with your TV.
And then PlayStation
dude.
4 was like,
And PS4, dude. Oh my God, bro. They
The-
literally Xbox handed PlayStation
the most
that gem.
disgusting disc, bro. Like, do you remember that ad when they were like, "This is how you
Yes.
share games on PS4." Here, and for a fact they recorded that and put it together like 30 minutes before the conference started.
Yes, dude.
That's what makes it so funny, bro. I know for a fact, like 30 minutes before, they're like, "Hey, let's do this real quick,"
Oh,
and just
God.
plug it in there. What a legendary E3 that was. That was what, like 20? That was like 2013, right?
I think so. Yes.
Or
I
2014.
I remember being out of high school already.
Yeah, it was like 2013 or 2014. It was amazing. It was just the most disrespectful fade I've ever seen. All right. Well, speaking of disrespectful, we have here now our next one. So Next story, which is involving Inspire, who was previously mentioned in the Saber Interactive story. So Inspire has been recently launching, or they recently launched the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collections, which apparently hasn't been going too smoothly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what hasn't gone wrong with this game. Apparently, it's been very, very buggy. It has very poor controls. It's kind of missing features, or has features that are kind of half-assed. But most of all, right, there's just not that many servers going on, so you can't even really play it with people online.
Yeah.
Right, you have users claiming that there's only 3 64-player servers, which was their big selling point, that they were going to increase the cap from, I think it was like 32 players previously.
Yeah.
To like 64, which is a huge, huge jump, right? Like that's
It's
double.
huge. Dude, it's enormous.
Like, could you imagine like Battlefront, like 60, sorry, yeah, 32 versus 32? It'd be so awesome to see.
I did, and now I don't want to after this.
Yeah, so this has been, very, very, very controversial. I think it is now currently sitting at a overwhelmingly negative on Steam. And you have people saying stuff like the heroes versus villains mode isn't really working because no one can join the heroes side. That was according to one review. Then you have reports of the aim controls having no aim assist, so playing with like a controller is like nearly impossible, at least online. But for some reason, it's in the single player stuff.
Yeah.
So like as you can see, I have a classic case of a company getting an easy job of getting a 20-year-old game, right, and just sprucing up the graphics, and they can't even do that right.
It's fucking stupid.
And then to top it off on all that, they actually stole content from modders.
Yep.
So in an article by IGN, there's actually a modder by the name of I am Shaman. I am a Shaman. I'm guessing. Yeah. I think it's
I am a shaman. Yeah.
Yeah, I am a Shaman, a very prominent modder in the Battlefront scene, who claims that they stole his Asajj Ventress mod, which is a big selling point of the collection, right? They're like, oh, you can now play as Asajj Ventress because she wasn't playable in the previous game. I think she got cut, so they didn't get to include her.
Yeah.
And he has included some evidence, actually, right? Within. So obviously here, right, the upcoming release of Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection does not include any code or content that is taken from uncredited sources, right? Which is a quote from Aspire themselves.
Yes.
But then if we look... Oh, wait. Why am I taking Reddit? Yeah, so the big thing is that the mod has a kind of a workaround where the modder, I Am a Shaman, used Ayla Sakura's moveset.
Yeah, that's Sakura, yes.
And everyone's under the impression that, Asajj Ventress is going to have her own moveset because even though, she's a dual wielding lightsaber user like Ayla Sakura, right? She's still like her own character, and she's a unique character. But apparently, like in the game, right, on the PS5 copy here, we see that Ventress is still using Ayla Sakura's moves, just like in the mod.
Yep.
So Aspire got kind of caught with their hands in the cookie jar.
Both hands.
Yeah, both hands, right? Firmly in that cookie jar.
It's fucking blatant.
Right, and then in the same article, I Am Shaman also talks about how buggy the game is, right? There's loads of weird issues that didn't even exist in the previous game, right? Like there's textures that are really muddled, or different colors than they were in the original game. There's also like glitches that have never been addressed. Like apparently on the Death Star, there's a glitch where like one team's tick rate, the amount that they lose, like every time someone dies, like it's like doubled. So like you're actually at a disadvantage at that map. So apparently like that never got fixed, right? And the modders have like, we could just fix this ourselves, right? They're like, these are easy fixes. Like we've done these before.
Yeah.
But leave it to companies to not do their due diligence and not fix what is supposed to be fixable, right? And now going deeper into the modders story, right? We have another story by IGN where there's even further evidence of it, where Shaman actually data mined the Switch version of the game and found that there was files that were the exact same from his mod,
Yeah.
right? So the same exact files they used for it. Now this has since been changed, right? But like the cat's out of the bag at this point, right? Like
Yeah, dude.
it's
like,
clear
you're
this is
caught.
built on plagiarism.
Yeah, of course. And then honestly, and you wouldn't have fixed it if you didn't get caught, like kind of situation, you know?
And then of course Aspire just says, well, you know, we're experiencing critical errors. We'll fix it soon, right?
Yeah, just like they promised they'd fix Payday 3.
Yeah.
No, dude, I've seen it. I've seen how busted it is. Even the shooting, like the, it's not that there's no, well, yeah, there's like lack of aim assist, but I, from what I've seen, it looks like the bullet spread is just wide, and also the shots don't even land. Like I saw a video of someone taking a fucking rocket launcher to the face and they didn't die. They just kept walking.
Did they
So
even react?
no, like they didn't even take damage.
Oh wow, okay.
Yes, dude. So, like shots landing, like even when you do land a shot, it doesn't do any damage. So there's, it's insulting to play. I mean, it's insulting to watch rather. But it's kind of funny though. You know, watching like Angry Joe lose their fucking mind over this game. It's so.
Oh yeah, I actually
man.
never saw.
Oh,
I haven't
dude,
seen the videos on it yet.
dude, you gotta watch.
I
it,
know
dude.
like Bricky also has one too. He has a video talking about it.
It's so good.
Surprised. I don't think Fleekazoid ever did one. Although I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if he's gonna work on it. He right now, actually, I was just watching. He unleashed a ranking stratagems video for Helldivers, so I'm gonna watch that actually when probably on the when I go to the airport tomorrow.
Get
But
your morning taste of Fleek.
Morning Taste of Fleek, God, dude, he's so fucking funny.
Yeah, he's great.
Stratagem tier list.
Yeah, he's funny. You know what else is funny?
What else is funny? Tell me.
Oh yeah, huh? Overwatch 2, right?
Shut your mouth,
fucking,
dude.
the fucking
Fuck you.
funniest and saddest game. Like this. Oh my god, it's supposed to be the most mistreated game of all time, dude. But so apparently we have two articles here. Actually, they kind of build off each other. First one from Kotaku and second one from Bloomberg. Where first we can cover the Kotaku one. So apparently there's been a bit of a hubbub over the PvE. Right? As you remember last year, the Overwatch 2 devs confirmed back in May, I think, that the PvE was going to be essentially scrapped, or at least the hero mode was going to be scrapped, where you'd be able to replay missions over and over again, level up your hero, and like you gain new talents, essentially like Diablo, but like Overwatch style.
Yeah.
But that was scrapped, and of course that caused a massive uproar, and it dealt a massive blow to Overwatch's reputation, among many other blows that it had suffered. Between the lack of content being released for Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2 launching, kind of subpar to many people's eyes because they felt like there wasn't enough to justify the 2. Well, now we have the official death of the PvE, right? So it hasn't been publicly confirmed yet, but yeah, we all saw this coming, right? Like, because there was no way like they were going to finish this, especially after the layoffs in January, where pretty much the entire PvE team was laid off. And at least according to this article, it was internally announced that they were just going to focus on the PvP stuff. But Kotaku actually interviewed a anonymous developer, and they said, according to this developer, they were actually going to do multiple content drops over several years, and the idea was to drop a couple of story missions every 18 months, right?
Hmm.
This is before it was actually canceled. Which, I think we were all expecting like one big campaign drop, like just boom, here you go, like a good 6 hour campaign, here you go, right?
Yeah.
But I would have been okay with 3 missions every 18 months. I mean, it's a long wait, but okay. But apparently that was every mission was in a different degree of completion. So some levels were fully complete, some were still in progress, right? I mean, the fact they never finished is crazy because like we waited 4 years for this game, and
Yeah.
like the most we got was 3 missions, and then we have to wait for like more, like a year and a half for more.
Yes.
But according to the same source, apparently a lot of the reason for this was because of what management calls Blizzard quality, right? Which kind of echoes BioWare magic, right? Remember when Anthem,
Yeah.
that expose
Yeah.
on Anthem came in? They're like, oh
Anthem.
no, right? It's okay. We'll this game will be good, right? Because we got that BioWare magic. Okay, it's all gonna just come together, and then no, it didn't come together, right? But
Quite the opposite, dude.
right, so what we mean by Blizzard quality is apparently it's a term by managers that's used to describe a standard that the company aspires for, which is fucking hilarious considering the kinds of games they've been releasing since like 2017. Right? Like Blizzard has been releasing disappointing game after disappointing game. I think the best thing they did was Diablo 2 remaster, and that was a remaster of like a 20-year-old game. So, right? Like, so, the source said, "quote Blizzard quality is justification to essentially piss about forever and ever, redoing the same work over and over again." The source said, "Some executive goes, but is it Blizzard quality?" So, yeah, it seems like a lot of the PvE, the failures of PvE, kind of come down to Blizzard, wanting to do Blizzard things where they just kind of, iterate over and over and over again. And
Yes.
for whatever reason, this time around, it just didn't seem to work. But it's not the only thing, right? So apparently, the same source also says that it was just really hard to get, the characters, the PvP characters, and implement them in a PvE environment. Which that
Yeah.
I can totally understand with. Like from the very beginning, I always thought like, wow, this is gonna be super hard, right?
Yeah.
To the way you function like in a PvP game is completely different from a PvE game. But there was always potential there, wasn't there? Right? Like you remember the PvE stuff? They were pretty fun. I mean,
Well,
they were
it
basic, but it
reminds.
was fun.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it would have been. The thing is, it's always fun with friends. Even mundane shit. Like, for example, we Back for Blood, we shit on it all the time. But honestly, like, it was fun because I played with you, because we experienced the jank and the weirdness together. But there could have been something to it. I mean, they showed character trees, and after all, even though, like, yeah, it would have been hard to translate the PvP characters into a PvE setting, and honestly, it wouldn't have been as hard because I remember a video by Video Game Donkey explaining, like, in a PvP setting, you're constantly worried about having to balance these characters out, but the solution they could have done was make the characters OP as fuck. So that you guys can have fun while you're killing, NPCs or hordes of enemies. And then once you see how people play, you can adjust the difficulty to that playstyle. Kind of like with Helldivers. Like, realistically, when we play against, the Terminus and the Automatons on the easier difficulties, they're not hard because we we know how to handle them. But then as we go to the harder difficulties, the game adapts by not necessarily uh, throwing. Well, actually, no. Sorry, I take that back. It's hard because of what they throw at you, and then what the developers did after we complained about the chargers, they said, okay, we're gonna change the charger spawn rate, but that does not mean that we're gonna change the difficulty. And what they ended up doing, they just increased the amount of hunters and
Mm-hmm.
bow spewers. So yeah, it would have been hard, but if a fucking studio like Arrowhead can do it, then an indie company like Blizzard could have probably made something along those lines. They could have done it. They could have done something, anything, and then just take it from there. But well, it's like
Yeah.
the article says, you know, no decisions were being made. Like all the ideas were getting shot down because of whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, I will be like sort of devil advocate here and say like Helldivers and like Overwatch are two completely different games with different designs behind them, right? Like Helldivers is a much more homogenized approach to like loadouts and stuff. And then
Yeah.
Overwatch, you have specific characters do very specific things, and you have to find ways that they to apply those specific things equally across like all scenarios. Like there used to be some parity between how the characters interact with the environment as well as with each other.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I guess it does make sense because they all have, yeah, like you said, but
Yeah, because like if you're doing it, like if you're getting a level in Helldivers, right? You only have to worry about one guy, and then you just have to consider like all the loadout permutations. But then like
yeah,
how do you design a level like when you have like a Reinhardt and like a Reaper, whatever characters you can think of, right? Like how do you like design a level in that case? And what about like hero switching, right? Like do you want to allow people to like switch heroes in the campaign? Well, then at that point, then you have to take into consideration how you design the level from there. Because you want it to also be, fun, but like the more different each character is, the more wildly different you have to do like each level. And that's gonna be a very time consuming process. Or you could just make it super
yeah,
bland as fuck, obviously, which is what they don't want to do, and just make it like
yeah.
streamline it so that way like all the levels are like
Which
pretty much equal.
which is kind of what they did with their like original like story missions that they would drop in the original Overwatch. It was pretty bland.
Yeah, I mean, it always felt like a testing bed. It was always the novelty
Yeah,
behind it was what made it cool. Obviously,
yeah,
it got super old after like 5 tries. Like
yeah.
at
Like
that
five
point,
years.
yeah. Like after that point, I was like, okay, unless you're doing it on legendary, it's not that fun because like everything's gonna happen, right?
Yeah,
Like, you know all the strats and stuff, and there's not real much risk to it because it's not terribly difficult, and the enemies types are kind of basic. But there was like a blueprint there that they could
yeah.
expand upon, right? It was Left 4 Dead pretty much. Like that's what it was.
Yes, dude. Honestly, yeah. Oof, man.
Yeah. So continuing on with the story, right? So for hero mode, that actually was the choice to cancel that was actually made as late as December 2022, which is 2 months
is
after the game came out.
Yeah.
Overwatch 2 came out, and 6 months before the company made the official announcement. So we were all kind of speculating that they knew ahead of time it was going to be canceled. And I mean, this just kind of confirms our suspicions, which is kind of dishonest, right? Because like a lot of people bought like the beta keys and stuff. You remember that when they were selling like beta keys and beta
Yeah.
access, under the impression that okay, well this is me investing in the future of the game, and eventually it's gonna be really good PVE. And
Yeah.
now Blizzard's turning around and be like, no, actually no.
No, actually, not at all. Not at all.
So yeah, this is a real damn shame. And then on top of all that, we have the Bloomberg article where apparently Team 4, the developers of Overwatch, are apparently not going to get any bonuses because Overwatch 2 is apparently not doing very good financially. At least according to whatever metrics Activision Blizzard has.
Yeah.
So according to like internal metrics, right, they're not doing well enough to receive bonuses, and this is actually part of a controversial change change in policy that occurred, where originally, if the entire company was successful, everyone would get profit sharing for it, and they get it twice a year. They get it once in August, and then again like in March, I think. Where was it? Oh yes, yeah, one in August and one in March. However, as of last year, Bobby Kotick, good old Bobby, right? Just before he
Yep.
left, in his last fuck you, he decided to change the policy to where it was based on franchise success. So if you weren't part of the winning team, you got fucked. No bonuses. And apparently this was a big point of contention between Blizzard leadership and Activision leadership. And this is actually something Mike Morhaime and J. Allen Brack, two former presidents of Blizzard, fought against. They actually wanted they want it to be tied to company success because their argument was, well, if you tie to only franchises, then people aren't going to want to work on other games. They're going to just work on the successful ones. They're not going to want to take risks and make cool new things.
Yeah, of course.
But Bobby being Bobby, suit being a suit. No, fuck him, right?
No, fuck him.
You didn't give me money, so fuck you, right? So yeah, apparently, so we were talking about Joanna Fairies. I'm sorry, it's Fairies. Her name's Fairies. I thought it was Fries.
Fairies.
Yes. So according to her, she's looking into details on changing the policies. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully, she makes the right decision and actually reverses on them, so that way, you don't get screwed just because you've working on one game versus the other.
Yeah.
And finally, the PvE. The PvE story missions that they released for Overwatch 2 purportedly did not sell very well at all, which is unsurprising, right?
Yeah.
Everyone was royally pissed over how the PvE was handled in the first place, and then you have the balls to fucking charge them $15 for it.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
2 hours of content. And it wasn't even very good content. Even content creators were it's kind of fun, when you do it with friends, you do it in the higher difficulties, but it's just a better version of Archives. Which is what you and I predicted, right? It's just Archives. It's going to be Archives again. That's it. Just a better version of it.
Yeah.
So very sad all around that. Because of the decisions of Blizzard and Activision, right, of management, that Overwatch has just consistently failed to reach the potential that it could have reached.
And that's the story. That's the story of Blizzard.
It's the story of Overwatch, man. Why didn't you guys get Blizzard? But mainly Overwatch. Overwatch is just such a it's just a fascinating microcosm of all the problems at Blizzard.
Yeah.
So much wasted potential across the board, but all of that, you can so see it with Overwatch.
Oh, how sad, dude. So sad. There's nothing more to say.
Yeah, I know. We've spoken a lot on Overwatch. James and I, we are lovers and haters of Overwatch.
We do, man. We think it's such a great game that is just has gotten bad for no reason other than dumb shit, So yeah, man, I'm sad now.
You're sad now?
This shit sucks.
Yeah, I know. Well, the game's still alive, right? It's a miracle it's still alive. I have no idea how it's still alive.
Yeah, but we have no desire to go back and play it.
I might play when the new hero comes out. Apparently they're having a trial. Yeah, it's a damage hero. Yeah, they
cool.
They use a drill and they go underground and they pop out in the air and then they can shoot. They shoot shrapnel, think like Sigmas. Sigma's balls. Think of it of a person shooting one ball at a time, and they can use the drill to dash in the air and stuff. It's pretty cool.
That sounds pretty dope. Yeah. I like that. That sounds cool.
Yeah. Did you see the Cowboy Bebop collab?
I did. I like Ash's skin, and I like Sombra's.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, did you see how much they were charging for the
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Bro, I saw the price, and I'm like, you motherfuckers! I cannot believe.
Yeah.
Dude, it was expensive.
I know it was expensive. Yeah, of course it was gonna be expensive.
Yeah, but bro, fuck
it was
me,
man.
It
was $50, I think.
Dude, exactly. No. I think it was 30, and I remember because I forgot who it was. I think it was Asmongold reacted to the prices, and he goes, for $10 more, you can buy Helldivers. It's yeah, exactly.
You can buy Helldivers, and then for another $2, you can get a skin from Helldivers.
Yes, dude. Ugh.
Did you see the animated trailer for it?
I did. That was dope. The thing is, those are always good. Those trailers, those cinematics are always good.
Did you see the launch trailer or the 2D animated one?
No, the launch trailer with the actual skins.
No. You need to see the 2D animated one.
Wait, I think I may have seen it. Let me see.
It's
Because I watched all of
amazing.
like Overwatch.
It was fucking amazing. I mean, once again, Blizzard showing that their art
The
department
art is always well staffed.
always consistent. Always. It's like Square Enix with their music department. Which I keep forgetting to mention, man. Rebirth's music is so fucking good, dude, and there's so much of it. There's so much. They have a track for everything. Like literally, every time you enter a new area, there's new music.
Oh yes, I have seen it. The 2D one. It's so good.
Right, it's amazing. I was like, oh my god, they fucking nailed it.
Dude, they nailed it so hard.
And the skins come out. It's like, what the fuck is on Cass's head?
Yes.
Someone killed a beaver and just put it on his head.
Dude, yeah. Honestly, that's probably the worst one.
That is the worst one. Yeah, Spike's
dude,
hair doesn't translate to 3D.
Yeah, man. But you know what? Ash's skin is beautiful. Faye Valentine, more like Bay Valentine. All right, I'll see myself out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, apparently, with season 10, they're gonna be increasing how many coins you can get with the weeklies, and they're also gonna let you earn coins in the battle pass for free and for premium, and they're also making all heroes free from the future onwards.
Okay.
So there are some good changes coming around. It's just, god damn, bro.
Dude, no, like at this point, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. Like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
I try to care where it matters. Even though I admittedly haven't played the game either in a long time.
Yeah,
I haven't played it in like 3 weeks.
The last time I played was with you, and that was for like the new patch.
Oh yeah,
apparently
yeah.
that's when they gave the health regen to everybody.
Yeah, the health regen and then the DPS passive, which they did nerf, thank goodness.
Yeah,
they
and
nerfed
I'm
a
just
little
like,
bit.
yes,
Ana's still not very good. I wouldn't recommend playing Ana, but
dude. If Ana is not good, the game sucks. Sorry.
All right. Well, speaking of Overwatch, let's cover our final story, dude. We got here
Indeed, there's potential on the
a
horizon.
game that seems to rival Overwatch. So it could potentially be an Overwatch rival. So finally, we have some surprise news. I actually wasn't going to include this, but seeing as how we are, big Overwatch lovers and haters, we want to include this, or I want to include this because it seems like it's going to tickle that Overwatch fancy, hopefully. But now with Marvel characters. So we have the reveal of Marvel Rivals, which is a third-person hero shooter that's being developed by NetEase and being published by Marvel Games, of course. And it looks like it's going to be, like I said, a hero shooter 6v6 in the classic Overwatch style.
Yep.
And it has been revealed there will be 19 characters, but we'll go over that a little bit. But first, I thought maybe we should look at the trailer together. I know you saw it already. Kind of wish you didn't, but it's okay.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Okay. We'll watch it together.
I saw it too, so don't feel bad.
Oh, what the hell?
It's just, I was hoping to have your raw reaction to it. Okay. But let's take a look. Why is Galactus a waifu now?
That was my first question. I wanted to ask. I was like, hey, why'd they do that? Why did they...
They know their audience. They know the Overwatch audience.
Dude, yeah. I love the comments. Blizzard employees are probably going to cry themselves to sleep tonight.
Yeah, so looks really cool, man. Like. So I mean, the first thing I notice is the artwork, right? I think a lot of the characters look really cool, actually.
Yes, they really do.
Yeah, I remember seeing like there was a leak on it a little earlier, and they showed off like how some of the characters look, and I really like these designs, man. Like Iron Man looks fucking dope.
Dude, Iron Man looks cool. Rocket's design's fucking badass.
Yeah,
along with Groot.
Oh, he's got a mohawk. Groot, right? Looking like a League character almost. Penny also looks really cool. I didn't know this was Penny. I saw this robot. I'm like, oh shit, this robot looks super cool. I wonder who that is. And it turns out it's Penny Parker. Which I'm very surprised by her inclusion, but I guess the team realized, everyone loved her in Spider-Verse. So They
They
decided to
needed a
include her in
diva.
some way. Yeah, and they need a diva, right? They need the cute Asian girl in a mech suit. So, which as a diva enjoyer, right here,
You appreciate it.
yes, I already can tell you that I'm going to be a day one penny maid. So, no, which by the way, this is a wonderful gift you gave me. I will always appreciate it. Right? I remember you giving me this.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I'm glad you like it.
One of these days, I'm gonna get you an Anna Funko Pop.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah, maybe for your birthday, I'll send you one.
But the irony is, you'll probably grab it while it's on sale because no one gives a shit about Overwatch. But
People like the
by the
merchandise.
time you,
Yeah. People don't give a shit about the game. They love the characters and the merchandise and stuff.
yeah,
But they don't give a shit
I
about
know
the
what
game.
you mean.
Literally,
Yeah.
the game's the worst thing about Overwatch. It's like League. The worst thing about League is the game.
Is the game, but everyone loves the fucking everything else about it. So yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, let me fucking fix up Diva there.
Yes.
So yeah, going on about the characters, right? Spider-Man looks really cool. I mean, Spider-Man always looks cool.
Also, well, I mean, voiced by our boy.
Yep, our boy Yuri Lowenthal. Right, the best Spider-Man so far. Best voice for Spider-Man. My favorite voice, Spider-Man voice.
Yeah, I agree.
Then you have Bruce, the Hulk with a fucking. You have Bruce Banner with a ray gun before he
Like the
hulks
gamma
out.
gun.
The gamma gun. Okay, yeah, it makes sense.
Whatever.
Gamma
Yeah,
gun.
who gives a shit?
Loki also looks really cool too.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of really, really cool looking characters. And the other thing that was surprising was that it was like third person. Well, I guess it's not too surprising, right? Because when you play a Marvel game, like you want to see the characters. You don't
Yeah.
want to see. You don't want to see their hands, right, or their feet. You want to see the characters doing cool shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I like that they stuck with their their comic designs, instead of like the MCU designs.
Yeah, they were going for a more comic booky art style, which is very appreciated
Dope.
because
Yes.
I remember when Avengers, right, went for that realistic art style, and they just look
Yes,
like
bro.
fucking. They
They
look like they're stunt doubles.
Yeah.
And then Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite tried to do it from a realistic art style, and they just looked fucking horrifying.
Yes, bro.
But in this, it looks like they're trying to stay true to the comic book roots. Every character's, gonna have a very comic booky look. And
Yeah.
then there's the destructible environments, like right here.
Yes, I thought that was very
Iron Man just fucking nukes a tower, right?
yes.
And then blasts Rocky Raccoon, which that laser lasted for a long time, right?
Yeah,
And
it did.
I'm looking through this, and I'm just seeing like all the analogies, the Overwatch analogies I can see here. Like, what was it? Like Iron Man, for example, like that looked like Echo's focus beam.
Yes.
Even though I know it's an Iron Man thing to do, but like as an Overwatch player, I can't help but see these things.
Yes, yeah, you can't help it. I know.
And then Loki, right? Like the heroes. Loki looks
moves
cool,
are-
right? Like he can put a clone up. I saw this, right? He puts
put a clone, swap with it.
Yeah, he creates a clone, swaps of it. Then he steals someone's power, so it's like Echo's copy.
Yes.
Can even use her ultimate. And then this chick, I don't know who the hell she is. Her name's Magic, I think. She looks cool, but I have no clue who the hell she is. She's probably a Thor character.
Probably.
And then the team-ups, right? So this seems to be like the really interesting thing. I don't know how this is gonna work,
Yeah.
but this is super cool. It's like something you really expect out of a like a superhero game, right? Like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Yeah.
Ultimate Alliance. You remember that
Yes.
game?
Yeah, of
Ultimate
course,
Alliance.
we played it.
Yeah, we played it together. We bought it together. Like we split it.
Yeah, we bought it together.
We never finished that DLC, by the way. The Doctor
It's
Doom.
okay. Yeah, well, I still appreciate the art style of that game.
Yeah, so it's a very Teen Ninja art style
Team Ninja Hearts.
with lots of culture on it.
Massive budgets.
Massive, yes, very massive budgets. So for the characters themselves, I have no idea who this is. Luna Snow. I've never heard of her.
Yeah, I have never heard of that
Like,
character.
obviously, like Rocky Raccoon, we know. Star Lord, we know. Black Panther, we know. Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Namor, Magneto. I don't think they showed Magneto in the trailer.
No, but I think it's been. I guess it's confirmed, but just wasn't in the trailer.
That's a
Unless
shame.
we missed it.
I would have loved to have seen Magneto. Is
Yeah.
he? I don't think he's here. I don't think he's at all.
I didn't see him. So let's see.
Nope. Yeah, no. I don't think so. Yeah, no. Groot. Yeah, this is where they're
Spider-Man.
introducing the heroes. Yeah, Spider-Man. No, I don't think they show him. Wait.
Well, in there maybe?
Okay.
No.
Is that him in the back?
Scarlet. Well,
And that might be him in the back.
Oh, that is. Oh, dude, that's a fucking.
That's
Dude, that
weird,
doesn't even
though.
look like him.
Yeah,
It's the
I
helmet.
don't know why
It's-
he's wearing gray.
Dude, it looks like fucking power armor.
Yeah, I mean he's always worn like some kind of armor in the comics, but it was always
Yeah,
red.
but dude, that's fucking war. That's like Warhammer 40K type armor
Yeah,
shit.
it's like
It was bulky as fuck.
it's like red. Yeah, it's originally like red or black, and then you
Yeah.
have Punisher here, looking buff as fuck. Jesus Christ,
Dude, Gears of War Punisher right there.
bro, he'll make Chris Redfield blush. Jesus Christ. And then you have Mantis, you have Scarlet Witch, Star Lord, who's really cool. I love the jacket. by the way.
Yes.
Then
And of course,
Storm,
Storm.
looking lovely as always. So a lot of cool art. You have some cool ideas here between destructible environments and the team ups, right? And judging from here, I think this might be your girl, bro. She looks like a support, so
Oh,
you may
Lord.
not have heard of her, but you might want to get
I
familiar with
will.
her.
I will know her name soon enough.
Yes, and I'm sure
Yeah,
the
we'll-
artists will know her very well too. Yeah, I can already hear the artists rubbing their hands.
Dude, Rule 34 has already made a move.
And hey man, it's a big reason why Overwatch such a fucking success. Like I said, man, everything but the game is cool, even the porn.
Yes. Oh God.
So, yeah, looking forward to this. Apparently, there's going to be a closed alpha in May, I believe.
Yeah.
Even May, which I actually did sign up for. So if you're interested, you can always sign up.
Oh, you did? Oh, damn! I should probably
Google
get
it.
in on that. Yeah, I'll have to get in on it. I'll sign up. At
Yeah,
some
it's just a
point.
basic questionnaire.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it looks like a really, really cool game. Could scratch that Overwatch itch whenever
Yeah.
I'm done being pissed at Overwatch. Hop on over to Marvel Rivals, get pissed at Marvel Rivals, and then I don't know, go do something,
And go do something else.
something more productive, like I don't know, gardening or whatever, something relaxing. All right, so that's it for today's episode. You want to sign us off?
Indeed. Sure thing, man. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us for another episode of Two Bar Connection. We really appreciate you guys watching us. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Please leave a comment down below if there's any stories that you want us to cover or any games that you want us to play and talk about. And don't forget that you can find us the best way on YouTube, obviously, for our video format. But we also offer audio only on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and as well as Spotify.
Amazon Music.
Yeah, Amazon Music. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they really should make it like a separate thing for podcasting. But yeah, Amazon Music. Yeah, but yeah, thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Once again, thank you guys so much. So wherever you are, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Peace.
Bye, everybody.